In this lesson, we will learn how to add or subtract fractions with butterfly method or cross multiplication method. If we solve these fractions with traditional method, we have to find a common denominator. To find the common denominator, we have to find the least common multiple of these two denominators. Then we multiply a number with the numerator and the denominator, and we do the same with the other fraction. So that is a very long process. So we have a simple method which is called the butterfly method or a cross multiplication method. We will go through these three examples in this lesson. So let's start with first one. We have 7 over 5 plus 3 over 2. To solve this fraction with cross multiplication or the butterfly method, the first step is we multiply this 7 by 2 and this 5 by 3. Then in denominator, we multiply this 2 by 5. So let's do it. First multiply this 7 by 2. So 7 times 2. Then multiply this 5 by 3. So we make a cross. So 5 times 3. Then put the sign which is or between them, which is subtraction or addition. So here we have a positive sign. So put here positive. Then we multiply this 5 by 2. So 5 times 2. So 7 times 2 will give us 14 plus 5 times 3 will give us 15 over 5 times 2 will give us 10. So 14 plus 15 will give us 29 over 10. Now let's reduce this fraction. If it is reducible, let's find a common number by which these two numbers are divisible. So can we find a common number? So no, it doesn't allow. There is no common number by which these two numbers are divisible. So this is our final answer. Now let's move to the another one. So we have our second problem, which is 3 over 4 minus 5 over 6. So let's solve this. Let's apply the same rule, which is cross multiplication. So we multiply this 3 by this 6. So 3 times 6. This 4 by 5. So 4 times 5. Put the symbol between them, which is negative, and divided by 4 times 6. Now 3 times 6 will give us 18 minus 4 times 5 will give us 20 divided by 4 times 6 will give us 24. So let's subtract 18 minus 20. We can subtract these using the number line, but I have a trick by which we can solve these without making a number line and in seconds. So 18 minus 20, let's subtract smaller one from the bigger one. So 20 minus 18 will give us 2, and we have negative sign with the bigger one, so we apply the negative sign here. So this is our trick. Always subtract smaller one from the bigger one, and if we have negative sign with the bigger one, so this is how we solve it. Always subtract from the smaller one from the bigger one and put the sign which a bigger one is have. So the bigger one has negative sign, so we put the negative sign here, divided by 24. Now let's reduce this fraction with a common number by which these two numbers are divisible. So let's divide these two numbers by 2. So 1 times 2 will give us 2, and 12 times 2 will give us 24. So negative 1 over 12 is our final answer. We can not further divide it. So this is our final answer. Let's move to the third one. So the third problem is 1 and 1 over 6 plus 2 and 1 over 3. We can see that these are the mixed fractions. So these we have to convert these mixed fractions into normal fractions or improper fractions. So how do we convert it? So to convert this mixed fraction into normal fraction, we put this 6 at its place and we multiply this 6 by 1. So 6 times 1, then we add the numerator, which is 1. Same we apply here. Take the 3 as its place and we multiply 3 by 2. So 3 times 2 and then we add the numerator. So it is 1. So 6 times 1 gives us 6 plus 1 divided by 6 plus 3 times 2 will give us 6 plus 1 divided by 3. Then we have 6 plus 1, which is equals to 7 divided by 6 plus 6 plus 1, which is equals to 7 divided by 3. Now we have the normal equation, normal fraction. We can add this by using the cross multiplication or the butterfly method. So how do we solve this? We multiply this 7 by 3. So 7 times 3. Then we put the symbol which are between these two fractions. Then we multiply this 6 by 7. So we make a cross here. That's why we call this cross multiplication method. So 6 times 7 divided by 6 times 3. It's form a butterfly like this. So that's why we call it the butterfly method. So 6 times 3. So 7 times 3 will give us 21 plus 6 times 7 will give us 42 divided by 6 times 3 will give us 18 equals, if we add 21 plus 42, it will give us 63 divided by 18. Now let's reduce this fraction if it is reducible. So can we divide these numbers with a common number? So we can divide it by 3. So if we divide 63 by 3, it will give us 3. 2 times 3 will give us 6. So we put 2. And 1 times 3 will give us 3. So we put 1 here. Divided by 6 times 3 will give us 18. We can further divide this fraction by 3. So 7 times 3 will give us 21 divided by 2 times 3 will give us 6 to 2. So 7 over 2 is our final answer. So here how we solve the addition or subtraction of fraction with cross multiplication or the butterfly method. If you learned something with this video, do hit the like button and subscribe this channel. Thank you.